See, we are in accounts payable. Akila, can you hear me? See, advance payments. Here, advance payments means generally, as far as purchases are concerned, the normal business process is first we place the purchase order with the vendor, then he supplies the materials. After that, we make the payment. So some vendors may give 30 days credit. In that case, you make the payment on 30th day. And some vendors may require the payment immediately. In that case, after receipt of goods, you do the payment immediately. So first we receive the goods, after that we make the payment to vendor. That is called, that is the normal business process. But sometimes some vendors, before delivering the goods to us, they require the payment. If that is the case, if you have to make the payment to vendor before delivering the goods, that is called advance payments. So generally, the advance payments are required when the vendor is very new to us, or sometimes the goods to be supplied are of very high value. In that case, the vendors may require us payment before delivery. So if you make the payment, so during the normal management of the business, we have to pay advances to many vendors. So in that case, how to process them in SAP? That is called advance payment processing. So these advance payments are also called down payments on current assets. Here, inventory of raw material account is a current asset, right? So down payment on current assets means advance payments. So how to process advance payments in SAP? That is the topic what we are going to discuss today. So first I will explain the concept of advance payments. Here, SAP classifies the business transactions with vendors into normal business transactions and special business transactions. SAP classifies the business transactions with the vendors into two types: normal business transactions and special business transactions. Normal business transactions include purchases, payments, and returns. Returns means purchase returns. So these are only the three normal business transactions. The normal business transactions are only three. Number one, purchases. Number two, payments. Number three, purchase returns. That's it. Then, special business transactions include advance payments to vendors, also called down payments on current assets, bills of exchange, and guarantees. Bills of exchange and guarantees means here every business transaction other than purchases, payments, purchase returns is called special business transaction. You can take it granted. Every business transaction other than purchases, payments, and purchase returns is called special business transaction. So these special business transactions are also called special GL transactions. The special business transactions are to be dealt in a separate way. Means, while presenting in the balance sheet, they should not be included in the normal balances to vendors. While presenting in the balance sheet, they should not be included in the normal balances to vendors. Means normal balances to vendors means sundry creditors. So the special business transactions should not be included in the sundry creditors. They are to be separately displayed in the balance sheet. So we have to maintain a separate reconciliation account for the special business transactions. We have to maintain a separate reconciliation account for the special business transactions. What does it mean? What is the meaning of displaying the special business transaction separately in the balance sheet? For example, we have 100 vendors, right? Today, we are preparing balance sheet. So to all the vendors, we have to pay $1 lakh. So to all the vendors, you have to pay $1 lakh means what? That is called sundry creditors, right? And this is displayed on liability side of balance sheet. I hope till now it's clear. So today we are preparing balance sheet and we have total 100 vendors. So to all the 100 vendors, you have to pay $1 lakh. That is called sundry creditors. And the sundry creditors is displayed on the liability side of the balance sheet. Then out of these 100 vendors, to 10 vendors, advance paid 10,000 USD. This is called advance to vendors. And according to balance sheet requirement, it is to be displayed on the asset side of the balance sheet. Here, so out of 100 vendors, you have paid 10,000 advances to some 10 vendors. So even though your net vendors are 90,000, but we should not display 90,000 on the liability side. According to balance sheet requirement, we have to display 1 lakh sundry creditors on the liability side. 1 lakh is to be displayed on the liability side of the balance sheet, and this 10,000 is to be displayed on the asset side of the balance sheet. The net effect is 90,000 only. But as far as balance sheet display requirement is concerned, we cannot subtract the advances from sundry creditors. We have to display the total amount of sundry creditors as liability on the liability side and 10,000 advance paid to vendors as asset on the asset side. That is the meaning of that. Not only advance payments, every special business transaction has to be separately displayed in the balance sheet. So for that, we have to maintain one reconciliation account. Means here for sundry, I have to display sundry creditors, right? So for the sundry creditors, what we have done, in order to display sundry creditors, what we have done, we have created sundry creditors account as reconciliation account, right? Similarly, our requirement is we have to display advances to all vendors as a separate total. So advances to vendors is to be created as a separate reconciliation account. Not only advances for vendors, bills of exchange account is to be created as a reconciliation account. Suppose sometimes if you give guarantees to vendors, for that also we have to create one reconciliation account. So for every special business transaction, we have to create a separate reconciliation account. Clear? That is the meaning of that. Please write down this. Please write down this. Yeah, I hope it's over for everybody. Now, special GL account. The reconciliation account maintained in the general ledger for the special business transactions with vendors and customers. I told you, in the previous slide, you have to maintain one reconciliation account for advances to vendors. So the reconciliation account which is maintained for special business transactions is called special GL account. Then special GL indicator. Here we have many types of special business transactions. Advance payment is a special business transaction. Then guarantees given is a special business transaction. Bills payable is a special business transaction. Like that, there are many special business transactions. I told every business transaction other than purchases, payments and purchase returns is called special business transaction. In that case, how the system will be able to differentiate among the nature of the special business transactions? With the help of the special GL indicator. Each special business transaction is identified with one letter that is called special GL indicator. So with the help of the special GL indicator, the system can differentiate the nature of the special business transactions. So for example, and these special GL indicators were already defined in the system. Advances to vendors is identified with A. Bills of exchange is identified with W. Guarantees given is identified with G. And if necessary, we can also maintain our own special GL indicators. Clear? Then, advances to vendors. SAP displays the account balances and the line items for normal business transactions and special business transactions separately for every vendor. This I will show you after posting the advances and invoices. Now, here, when we pay advance to vendor, that is posted by end user in accounts payable only, by debiting vendor account, crediting bank account. So in the vendor account, that is posted to debit side. In addition to updating the vendor account, the system will update another GL account in the general ledger, that is advances to vendors account. Very, very important. When you post advance in the vendor account, that advance amount posted is also automatically posted to the advances to vendors account, which is maintained as a reconciliation account in the general ledger. Why so? Here, accounts payable is called always subsidiary ledger. In the subsidiary ledgers, we can have the details of the postings. But the summary of these postings of the accounts payable is to be maintained in the general ledger. Why so? Because the total information required to prepare your P&L account and balance sheet is extracted from general ledger. That's why for every business transaction you post in accounts payable, one reconciliation account should be updated in the general ledger. That's a rule. For every business transaction you post in accounts payable, one GL account in the general ledger should be updated, and that GL account is a reconciliation account. Now, if you post the normal business transaction in the accounts payable, the normal reconciliation account, sundry creditors, is updated. But if you post the special business transaction, the special GL account or the special reconciliation account is updated in the general ledger. It's a rule. If you go against this rule, it's not possible. Again, I'm repeating the rule. For every business transaction you post in accounts payable, one reconciliation account should be updated in the general ledger. If you post normal business transaction, normal reconciliation account is updated in the general ledger. If you post the special business transaction accounts payable, special reconciliation account is updated in the general ledger. More particularly, If you post advances to vendors account is updated. If you post bills payable, sundry creditors bills payable account in the general ledger is updated. It's a rule. So this is updated by the system automatically. Advances to vendors account in the general ledger is automatically updated by the system. Then how the entries are posted in the normal accounting. Then we can understand how the entries are posted in SAP. See, in the normal accounting or non-SAP, when we pay advance to vendor, the entry posted is advances to vendors account data to bank account. So advances to vendors account is a current asset, right? So we have paid advance. So till you receive the materials from the vendor, that is your asset. Then, after paying the advance, vendor will supply the goods. Means the purchase transaction is completed. For that, we debit inventory of raw material account and credit vendor account. Now, by virtue of this purchase entry, it shows that you have to pay $10,000 to vendor. But already you have paid 10,000 to the vendor as advance, which is existing as a debit balance in the advances to vendors account. So actually speaking, you need not pay anything to the vendor, but in one place of the accounts, it shows that we have to receive. At another place of the accounts, it shows that you have to pay. Vendor is created, no? That's why this debit balance is to be set off against the vendor credit balance. The debit balance in the advance to vendor's account should be set off against the credit balance in the vendor account. For that, this is called setting off. For that, debit to vendor account, credit advance to vendor account. That's how the balance in the vendor account becomes zero, and also the balance in the advances to vendor's account also becomes zero. That's how the advance entries are posted in the normal accounting. But how the entries are posted in SAP? These entries I will explain while doing the configuration. See the first step in the material. Creation of GL account, 2,150,000 advances to vendors account as a special GL account. Special GL account means reconciliation account. Here, advances to vendors account is part of our current assets, and it has to be created under current assets, loans and advances. So for that account group, we have defined the number ranges 2,100,000 to 2,199,000. Just like that I have taken 2,150,000 there. Nothing else. You can take any number. 2,121,000 also you can take. 2,110,000 also you can take. But just like that I have taken 2,150,000 in our class. Transaction code FS00. GL account is equal to 2,150,000. Company code 3366. Company code 3366. Go to menu GL account create. Account group is current assets, loans and advances. Account group is equal to current assets, loans and advances. Select balance sheet account. Short text is equal to advances to vendors account. GL account long text is also advances to vendors account. Go to control data tab. Account currency USD. And we should not select only balances in local currency for reconciliation accounts. Reconciliation account for account type vendors. Reconciliation account for account type vendors. Select line item display. sort key 012 means vendor number. Suppose you have paid advances to some 15 vendors. So to which vendor how much advance you have paid? That information is required by the user in the line item display itself. That's why every line item is to be maintained according to vendor number. So I have given sort key 012. Go to create bank interest tab, field status group G067. Click on save. Now see the next step. Associate sundry creditors account with advances to vendors account. It is mandated that every special GL account or every special reconciliation account should be linked with the normal reconciliation account. Why? First let us do the link, then I will explain you. Transaction code OBYR. See, these are the special GL indicators. A means down payments. Down payment on current assets. So these are all the special GL indicators which are already defined in the system. If necessary, we can also maintain our own special GL indicator by clicking on create button. Okay. Then double click on A, down payments. Chart of account is equal to 3366. Click on enter. Reconciliation account is 1,05,505. This is the sundry debt. This is the sundry debtors account, right? Reconciliation account is 1,05,505. Special GL account 2,150. Special GL account 2,150. Click on save and enter. Then why we have to link these two GL accounts? See here. Listen to me very carefully. That we will discuss later. First, try to understand why we have to link these two GL accounts. I will explain you later that. See, our requirement is to display total sundry creditors as a total. Then another requirement is to display advances to vendors as total again. In order to display total sundry creditors, what we have done? We have created the sundry creditors account as reconciliation account, right? Then the sundry creditors reconciliation account was assigned in every vendor master record. As a result, when we post any transaction in the individual vendor account, sundry creditors reconciliation account is updated. I hope till now it is clear to everybody. If anybody wants, I will explain. Because this is very, very important. Okay. Now, your second requirement is to display total amount of advances paid to all the vendors on the asset side. So, always in order to display totals, we can use only the reconciliation account functionality in SAP. So, we have created this advances to vendors account as a reconciliation account. That is what we have done just now. Now, we have to assign this advances to vendors account in every vendor master record. So that when we post advance in the vendor account, advances to vendors account is updated. It has to be assigned in the vendor master record. But in the vendor master record, already we have assigned sundry creditors. There is no two reconciliation account fields in the vendor master record. We have only one reconciliation account field in which we have already assigned sundry creditors account. Then where we can assign? No, we cannot assign. But for the advance payment, this advances to vendors is to be updated. That's why we link this advances to vendors account with sundry creditors. Here, at the time of posting the advance, the user has to enter the special GL indicator. the user has to enter. Please remember, it's compulsory that the user enters the special GL indicator. So as soon as the system notices the special GL indicator, it understands that, okay, this is the special business transaction. So for the special business transaction, I should update the special reconciliation account. So where is the special reconciliation account? Unless the system finds the special reconciliation account, it will not allow the user to post the advance. That's why you double click on advance. A, you link this GL account to sundry creditors account. Clear? Not only advances to vendors, every special GL account should be linked with the normal reconciliation account. Suppose you are having the bills of exchange functionality, right? In that case, we maintain another reconciliation account, sundry creditors bills of exchange account. Then we double click on W. Then we link this GL account with this sundry creditors reconciliation account. I hope it's clear for everybody. Now, from now onwards, end user transactions. Advance payment posting. Here the step number is wrong, nothing else. The sequence is correct. You just have to rectify step number 3. That's it. Transaction code F-48. Without subledger, see, the subledger is mandatory. The subledger represents your accounts payable. That's it. Even in the non-SAP also, we have one concept, subsidiary ledgers, which are called purchases ledger, sales ledger, vendors ledger, creditors ledger. Like that, cash ledger. Like that, we have many subledgers. So the purpose of the subledger is to maintain the details of the postings. Without subledger, accounting is not possible. Because you have the 10,000 vendors. So every day you are purchasing from many vendors. In that case, where we can maintain? How do we know how much purchase you have done total? For that, we maintain those transactions in the purchases ledger or accounts payable ledger. Clear? Document date is 2/12/2017. Main ledger contains reconciliation accounts and also the transactions which are not covered in the subsidiary ledgers. Accounts payable is a subsidiary ledger. So all the purchases, purchase returns, payments are contained in the accounts payable. Account receivable is also a subsidiary ledger. So the sales returns, right, and payments from customers, all these details are contained in the account receivable. The summary is maintained in the general ledger in the reconciliation account relating to account receivable. Then asset accounting is a subsidiary ledger. Asset acquisitions, asset sales, asset scrapping are contained in the asset accounting. Then you are paid rent. Where it is to be posted? It's not vendor transaction, it's not customer transaction, it's not asset transaction. That is posted in the general ledger. You have carried on some repairs and maintenance. It's not related to your vendors, customers and assets. It's an expense. So that is posted in the general ledger. So all the reconciliation accounts relating to subsidiary ledgers and expenses and revenue accounts are contained in the general ledger. Okay, Gadi. Document date is 2/12/2017. Type is KZ. Company code 3366. Posting date 2/12/2017. Period 12. Currency USD. Under vendor, account is 1,05,001. Okay, Tejasvi, no problem. Vendor under vendor account is 1,05,001. Special GL indicator A. Look at the screen. It's a mandatory field. See, special GL indicator is a mandatory field. So special GL indicator A. So with the help of this indicator A, system understands, okay, this is the special business transaction. The two advance, because A stands for advance. Under bank, the account is 2,01,101. Business area 3366. Business area 3366. Amount is 10,000. Text being advance paid to vendor. Text being advance paid to vendor. Click on enter. Amount is asterisk. Business area 3366. Text plus. Click on save. Now go to menu document simulate. Otherwise, now you can display the document. Go to menu document display. Look at the screen carefully. HSBC bank account is credited. Posting key 50. Then vendor account is debited. Posting key 29A. See, posting key 29 means debit for vendor for special business transaction. Posting key 29A, debit for vendor for special business transaction. See, posting key 29. Account V, vendor, debit or credit, debit, special GL. So posting key 29, debit for vendor for special GL. What is that special GL towards which he was debited? A. A means advance. So with the help of this posting key 29A, user understands that, okay, this vendor is debited towards the advance payment. Clear? Write down. In the middle cell, please write down. You have some space, no? Posting key 29A. Posting key 29A. Debit for vendor for advance payment. Debit for vendor for advance payment. Now, do one thing. I forgot to tell you one point here. See, in the first step, you have created 2,150,000 GL account, no? So against this, you have some space. Please write down there. The material against the first step, please write down one point there. For every business transaction we post, in accounts payable, for every business transaction we post in accounts payable, one reconciliation account should be updated in the general ledger. One reconciliation account should be updated in the general ledger. But for the normal business transaction posted in accounts payable, the normal reconciliation account, comma, the normal reconciliation account, within brackets, sundry creditors is updated, sundry creditors is updated in the general ledger. But for the special business transactions posted, but for the special business transactions posted in accounts payable, the respective special GL account, the respective special reconciliation account, the respective special reconciliation account is updated in the general ledger. For example, when the advance is posted in accounts payable, when the advance is posted in accounts payable, comma, the advances to vendors account, the advances to vendors account, within brackets reconciliation account, is updated in the general ledger. It's a rule, we can take it granted. Now, look at the screen. Here, this vendor is debited, right? Vendor is debited towards normal payment or advance payment? Advance payment. Okay. Advance payment means special business transaction. Just now I told you that for every special business transaction, the system will update special reconciliation account in the general ledger. So what is the special reconciliation account in the case of advance payments? Advances to vendors account, right? So in the accounts payable, vendor is debited. Simultaneously, advances to vendors account in the general ledger is updated. Here you have one tab, general ledger view here. If you click on this general ledger view, from the general ledger perspective, the system will display the entry. See, advances to vendors is updated here. Now if you prepare P&L account and balance sheet, into the balance sheet, advances to vendors is taken from this account. Every piece of information necessary for preparing P&L account and balance sheet is taken from the general ledger only. Now, if you go to FS10 and again, you can see the balance in advances to vendors. See, 2,150,000. 10,000 is updated. Clear, no? To whom you have paid this advance? Double click on that. This advance you have paid to vendor 1,05,001. Because for the advances to vendors account, you have given the sort key 012. See the links. So the entry that is posted in SAP is for advance payment. The entry that is posted in SAP is vendor account data to bank account. Vendor account data to bank account. So this vendor is debited towards advance payment. Advance payment means special business transaction. So the special reconciliation account is updated by the general ledger. So it updates advances to vendor's account, reconciliation account. Clear? Now, see the next step. Check party account. Vendor line item display. Party account, checking party account means vendor line item display. FBL1N. Vendor account is 1,05,001. Company code 3366. Select to open items. Operate key date 2/12/2017. Then after operate key date, please add one sentence there. After operate key date, you please add one sentence. Under type, select normal items. Sorry. Under type, select special GL transactions. Under type, select special GL transactions. This is what I told you. SAP displays line items separately for normal business transactions and special business transactions separately. So if you want to display what are the advances paid and which are pending, you select special GL transactions. If you want to display what are the invoices that are pending for payment, you select normal items. Clear? So select special GL transactions. Layout is one SAP. Click on execute. See, 10,000 advance is shown as open item. This 10,000 advance is pending. How can you say this is pending? Status open, status red color. But how can you say this is advance payment? Document type KZ. KZ means payment. Normal payment or advance payment. Again, how the user knows. Special GL indicator. Yeah. So KZ document type payment. Special GL indicator A. So user understands that okay, this is the advance payment. If this is the payment towards invoice, there won't be any special GL indicator. That's how with the help of the special GL indicator, user can understand whether this is the advance payment or normal payment. Normal payment means payments towards the invoice. Clear, no? See the next step. Okay, we have paid advance. Then vendor has supplied the materials. We have received the material. And also we have received invoice. Then we are posting. F-43. Posting of invoice. Document date is 2/12/2017. Type is KR. Company code 3366. Posting date 2/12/2017. Period 12. Currency USD. Posting key 31. Account is vendor number 1,05,001. Click on enter. See, look at the screen. Message given by system. USD 10,000 down payment on current assets exist. So when you are posting the invoice to any vendor, if any advance is already available, the system automatically gives the message. That's how user knows. He need not verify any advance is available or not. The amount is equal to 10,000. Business area 3366. Payment terms 0001. Baseline date 2/12/2017. Text being goods purchased. Text being goods purchased, posting key 40, account is 2,120,000.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, now we use posting key first 31
Yeah,
for vendors,
yeah,
and again we use posting key 40.
yeah.
Sir, can we use posting key 40 first and after that posting key 31 for vendor, as we posted GL account first debit and after that credit?
Yes, we can do that. We can do. But
Okay,
thing is, it's only a system default to procedure, right? If you want, you
okay,
can post to debit line item first, credit line item next. No issues.
okay, sir.
Click on enter. Amount is asterisk. Business area 3366. Text plus. Click on save. See the next step again. Transfer advance from special GL to normal GL by clearing special GL. Before this, let us display line items. FBL 1N. See, I am displaying line items. Here I have selected special GL transactions, right? So in the special GL, there is a debit, right? Advance payment, there is a debit. In the special GL, there is a debit. Okay. Click on back arrow. Then you select normal items. Click on execute. In the normal items, there is credit. This is what I told you. SAP displays line items separately for normal business transactions and special business transactions. And also, account balances also will be displayed by the system separately for normal balances and special balances. See, here if you go to FK10N, this is all very important for you to understand because you have to train the user also sometimes. We have to explain them the accounting effects. See, in the vendor account balance tab also, we have the in the account balance transaction code also, we have the two tabs, balances and special GL. See, in the balances, there is 10,000 credit. In the month of December, there is a balance of 10,000. Credit means you have to pay 10,000 to the vendor. Then you have another tab, special GL, right? So in the special GL, you have the debit. But the account summary is 0. Are you getting my point or not? In the special GL, there is a debit of 10,000. In the normal GL, there is a credit of 10,000. So every vendor account contains two segments. Every vendor account balance, I'm sorry, the wording is not correct. Every vendor account balance contains two segments, normal balance segment and special GL stress segment. In the normal balance segment, 10,000 credit is there. In the special GL, there is 10,000 debit. Now the advance has to be transferred to invoice. That is the next step. Clear? And one more thing here is, we have paid advance, no? We have posted invoice, no? This is the document that is posted when the invoice is posted. Look at the screen. Ratna Enterprise Limited is created and inventory of raw material account is debited. So Ratna Enterprise is created towards what? Purchases. Am I right? So purchase means normal business transaction, and for every normal business transaction we post in accounts payable, normal reconciliation account is updated. What is the normal reconciliation account here? Sundry creditors. If you click on the general ledger view, If you click on the general ledger view, see, sundry creditors is updated. Now, in the sundry creditors, credit balance is 10,000. In the advances to vendors, debit balance is 10,000. If you prepare balance sheet now, sundry creditors is shown on the liability side, advances to vendors is shown on the asset side. Even though you need not pay anything to any vendor, your balance sheet requirement is met. Now, that is the next step. Transfer advance from special GL to normal GL means the advance has to be transferred to invoice, nothing else. In the normal terminology, we have to transfer the advance to invoice. That is done in F-54. And also, see, in the normal accounting, in SAP, for the purchases, this is the entry that is posted. Inventory of raw material account to vendor account, and this vendor credit will update sundry creditors reconciliation account in the general ledger. Now, clearing of advance to invoice, transfer of advance to invoice. Document date is 2/12/2017. Document type is KA. Document type is KA. Look at the screen, please. Document type KA, vendor other document. What does it imply? We are not posting any invoice. So document type is not KZ. And we are not posting any payment. We are not posting any invoice. So document type is not KR. We are not posting any payment. So document type is not KZ. But we are doing some adjustment internally within the vendor account. That's why system has taken document type KA. KA means vendor other document. Company code is equal to 3366. Posting date 2/12/2017. Period 12. Currency USD. Under vendor, account is 1,05,001. Text being advance transfer to invoice. Text being advance transfer to invoice. Click on enter or click on process down payments. Transfer posting 10,000. Transfer posting 10,000. Look at the screen, please. Here, the amount of advance paid is 10,000. The available amount is also 10,000. So there is an advance of 10,000 available in the vendor account. How much you want to transfer? Total 10,000 or only part amount? As you wish. Here, I am transferring total amount. So transfer posting is 10,000. Click on save. Now, let us display the document now. See, posting key 39A. Credit for vendor for advance cancellation. Posting key 26. What is this posting key 26? Payment difference. Debit for vendor for payment difference. First do one thing. Write down here. First write down the posting keys. Posting key 29. Posting key 39A. Against the step, first write down. I will take another 1 hour today. Posting key 39A. Credit for vendor. Posting key 39A. Credit for vendor. After this topic is over, let's have a break of 5 or 10 minutes. Then we start. Write down. Posting key 39A. Credit for vendor for transfer of advance to invoice. For transfer of advance to invoice. Posting key 26. Posting key 26. debit for vendor, debit for vendor, for payment difference. Now, look at the state. Here, when you have paid advance, vendor account is debited, no? Now we are transferring the advance to invoice. Means the balance in the advance account should become 0. So for debit to make it as 0, it has to be created. That's why vendor account is created here. So this vendor account is created towards cancellation of advance. Now, at the time of posting the invoice, vendor account is created. Now we are transferring the advance to invoice. So the credit balance in the normal vendor account has to be made as 0. For that, it has to be debited. Means here this vendor account is debited towards the cancellation of invoice due. Means normal business transaction. So in this case, if you click on general ledger view, see advance to vendor account is created, sundry creditors account is debited. Now the balance in the sundry creditors account becomes 0. The balance in the advances to vendors account becomes 0. I will show you now. See, this is the entry that is posted here in SAP. Vendor account to vendor account. So this vendor debit will update sundry debtors. This vendor credit will update advances to vendors account. If you go to FS10N, advances to vendors, 0. Debit is equal to credit. Why am I explaining this much in this case? Because it is only the confusing topic in accounts payable. Everything else is very plain topics, very simple. But here only you feel some confusion. But how to avoid that confusion, I will tell you at the end of the topic. Now, see the next step. Check party account. FBL 1N. Vendor is equal to 1,05,001. Vendor account is 1,05,001. Company code 3366. Select to open items. Operate key date. Operate key date 2/12/2017. After that, please add one sentence. After operate key date, please add one sentence. Under type, select special GL transactions. Under type, select special GL transactions. Layout is one SAP. It is there. Layout is one SAP. Click on execute and observe the document status, right? See, here you have selected special GL transactions. Then the system says that there is no item selected, means there isn't any advances selected. There is no advances pending for this vendor because it has been transferred to invoice. Continue. Under type, select normal items. Under type, select normal items. Please write down. Under type, select normal items. Click on execute. Click on execute. And observe the document status. And observe the document status. Look at the screen. Here I have selected normal items, right? Click on execute. See, in the normal items, there are two open items. One is invoice. The second one is advance transfer from invoice. Sorry, advance transfer from advance account. If you go to FK10N here, see, in the normal balances, there is no balance to be paid. Why still there is 4 lakh balance? Just 1 second. Okay. What I was explaining? Somebody posted some invoices. That's why I'm worried. Because you get unnecessarily confused. I request everybody, don't use our company code. It is problem for you. I don't face any problem. I'll be going on explaining. You get unnecessarily confused. See, if you go to FK10N, the balance is 0. The balance is 0 here. Means under normal balances, there is 0. You need not pay anything. But in the special GL also, see, debit is equal to credit. But only the difference is with reference to line items. There are 2 open items. Now, in the line item display, the debit is equal to credit. The debit is equal to credit. Now you can set up them in F-44. That is the next step. Clearing of normal item in F-44. Account is equal to 1,05,001. Click on process open items. Here, please look at the screen. Anytime, if any total of the debits is equal to any total of the credits, they can be cleared. Double click on both the line items. Click on save. See the next step, check party account, FBL1N. Vendor account is equal to 1,05,001. Company code 3366. Select to open items. Operate key date 2/12/2017. After that, add one sentence. Select normal items. Select normal items. And special GL transactions. Select normal items and special GL transactions. Click on execute. See, system is saying that there is no item selected. Means there is no normal items pending and there is no special GL transactions pending. This is how advances are processed. Now, what we have to do in your practice is, first, after configuration is over, post one invoice. Observe the movements. After configuration is over, post one advance. Observe the movements in the account balance and line items. Then Post the invoice. Observe the movements in account balance and line items. After that, transfer advance to invoice. Then clear them in F-44. One round of practice is over. Again, post one more advance, post one more invoice, transfer the advanced invoice and clear them. Again, post one more advance, post one more invoice, transfer the advanced invoice, then clear them. Like that, you do the practice of advance payments at least 2-3 times. Don't get confused unnecessarily. Don't post 5 invoices at a time. Don't post 5 advances at a time. The thing is, you have to understand the concept first. Post at only one advance first. Post only one invoice first. Observe the movements in the accounts. Then you transfer. Once you get the clarity, you post multiple advances, multiple invoices, you can do multiple clearing. My intention is to make you understand the concept clear. In any subject, if the concept is clear, you can touch any depth of that subject on your own without the help of anybody else. Without the help of anybody else. So conceptual understanding is very, very important. Right? Now, let's say have a break of 10 minutes. Then we start automatic payment program. These are all the general entries. What you have seen till now. These are all the general entries. Right? So let's say have a break of 10 minutes. Then we start automatic payment program. Okay? Please bear with me for 10 minutes. I'll be back exactly in 10 minutes. You also can have the break. Yes, I am back. Akila, are you there? Akila, are you there? Anil? Anil. Gadi? Okay. Khalid? Okay. Chandrasekhar? Okay. Purushottam? Purushottam. Roni? Okay. Tejasvi? Okay. Anil, are you there? Anil? Akila? Okay, Anil. Purushottam? Chandrasekhar? Okay. See, automatic payment program. Okay, Chandrasekhar. It is very, 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 very important in accounts payable, right? Without automatic payment program, there is no accounts payable at all, right? So, what exactly is the automatic payment program? Let me close all other slides. See, automatic payment program. Here, using the automatic payment program, we can configure the system to print the checks, payment advices, payment summary for the due invoice of the vendors. Means here, first I will explain the concept and function of the automatic payment program. For any client company, it is very, very important to make the payments to vendors on their invoices in time. Some vendors may give 20 days credit, some vendors may give 30 days credit, some vendors may require the payment immediately, like that. Whatever may be the credit period given by them, we have to make the payments to vendors in time on their invoices. What happens if you don't make the payment to vendors in time? Some vendors may impose interest according to payment terms. So if the interest is to be paid, it is the burden on the profitability. So you cannot maximize the profits. Sometimes some vendors, they don't impose any interest. They don't impose any interest, but they will supply inferior materials in the next supply to take the advantage of the delay in the payment of the previous invoice. This is even more dangerous to the credibility of the company, because if you use the inferior materials in the production process, your final product quality is disturbed. So you may have to lose the goodwill among your customer base. As a result, sometimes you may have to lose some of your customers. It is even more dangerous to the credibility of the company. That's why, in any case, it's very, very important to make the payments to vendors in time. So, to make the payments to vendors in time, what is the information you require? We should know the due date of every invoice, right? Now, in your company, you have the 1000 vendors. And for every vendor, there are different number of invoices due on different due dates. In that case, how do you know the due date of the invoices? Impossible means impossible, right? That's why SAP has developed some configuration settings. The FI consultant will configure these settings in the client company. Then the user or the AP accountant, accounts payable accountant, he executes this program. He executes one transaction code. As a result, the system will identify only those vendors who have become due today. The system will identify only those vendors who have become due today. And for every vendor, it will only identify those invoices which have become due today. And for those invoices, the system will print the checks automatically. You need not write the check manually. The system automatically prints the checks. Then these checks are to be sent to vendors. While sending the checks, we have to write one letter, no? Like what? Respected sir, this is the check number so and so, drawn on so and so bank towards the so and so invoice. So please acknowledge the receipt. That's how we have to give one letter to the vendor. This letter is called payment advice in the business terminology. So this payment advice is also automatically printed by the system for every vendor to whom the checks have been printed. Then it will also print payment summary. Payment summary displays, payment summary will show you to how many vendors you have paid today, to each vendor how much you have paid, and total how much you have paid to all the vendors. This information is contained in the payment summary. So the checks are automatically printed by the system, payment advice are automatically printed by the system, and the payment summary is also automatically printed by the system. Not only printing these three objects, system automatically affects all the accounting functions. Means the accounting entries are automatically posted. The account balances of the vendors are automatically updated. The bank account balances are automatically updated. Then the reconciliation accounts are automatically updated. Check register is automatically updated. So all these are accounting functions are automatically taken care by the system. Don't worry, all this information I have given you in the slides. Don't worry, notes I have given you. So this is the concept of automatic payment program. The beauty of this automatic payment program is you can configure any payment method according to client requirement. Payment method means the media through which you make the payment. Check is called one payment method. Bank transfer is called one payment method. RTGS is called one payment method. ACH, automatic clearing house, which is very much used in US, is called one payment method. Like that, according to client requirement, any payment method you can configure. See, for example, we have 1000 vendors in your company. Today, we are executing the payment program. Okay. So out of this 1000 vendors, today only 200 vendors have become due. Then the system will identify only these 200 vendors. The system will select only these 200 vendors. Among these 200 vendors, there is one vendor XYZ. For the XYZ, there are total 25 invoices due on different due dates. For the XYZ vendor, there are 25 invoices due on different due dates. Out of this 25, today only 10 invoices are due. Then the system will print the check only for these 10 invoices. This case is applicable to every selected vendor. The system will print the checks only for those invoices which have become due. That's it. We can configure different payment methods like check, bank transfer, wire transfer, etc. etc. So this configuration I am going to show you. This is very, very important program. This is the very, very important configuration. See the first step in the material. Set up payment method per country for payment transactions. So whatever the payment methods you want to use for your client company, all these payments methods are to be set up at the country level first. And there is no transaction codes for the individual steps in the automatic payment program. But there is one transaction code wherein we can configure the total automatic payment program. What is the transaction code? I will show you. First, let us do the steps one by one. Set up payment method per country for payment transactions. SPRO. Financial accounting. Accounts receivable and accounts payable. Business transactions. Outgoing payments. Automatic outgoing payments. Payment method bank selection for payment program. Set up payment methods per country for payment transactions. Set up payment methods per country for payment transactions. And see the material. Click on position, give country IN. Suppose if you are doing the practice with Indian company code, give country IN. If you are doing the practice with US company code, give country US. So click on position. Country is equal to US. Click on enter. See, if the country US is set up already, or if the country India is set up already, you don't have to make any inclusions here. If you don't have country IN line item, then we have to click on new entries. So here I'm going to show you how to configure for the check payment method. Here already check payment method is already there. So technically speaking, you need not do anything. But if you don't find the country US for check payment, you have to set up that payment method at the country level. For that, click on new entries. Country is equal to US. Payment method C. Payment method C. C means check. You can use any identification, but generally for payment method check, we use C. Description is equal to payment method for USA. Description is equal to payment method for USA. Then payment method for select outgoing payments. So this is the payment method which can be used only for outgoing payments. Then payment method classification, select check. Payment method classification, select check. Then under posting details, document type for payment, KZ. Clearing document type for KZ. Document type for payment, KZ. Clearing document type for payment, KZ. What is this? Here I told you, when the system prints the checks, system automatically posts the accounting entries. The accounting entries in this case means payment documents. See, when the system is printing the checks, the system automatically posts the accounting documents. Now, here you have the two types of payments. One is payment done through manual issue of check. Then payment done through automatic payment program. In both the cases, accounting documents are posted, right? When you make the payment to vendor manually, what we are doing, we are going to F-53. There we are entering the payment. There we are entering the payment. Then we are clearing it manually. Then payment document is posted. That payment document is posted with KZ. Clear? Similarly, when the system prints the checks, it automatically posts the accounting document. Then that accounting document is posted with the document type KZ. That accounting document is posted with the document type KZ. Clear, no? But the management requirement is like this now. The accountant wants to differentiate between the accounting entries which are posted through manual issue of checks and the accounting entries which are posted through automatic payment program. Are you getting my point? If anybody wants, I will explain again. The management wants to differentiate between the accounting documents posted through manual issue of check and accounting documents posted through automatic payment program. Right? In that case, you enter ZP. If you enter the ZP here, when the system prints the checks and the payment documents are posted, those payment documents are posted with the ZP document type. Then, if the user notices the document type ZP, he can understand that, okay, this payment document is posted because of the check issued through automatic payment program. If the user notices the document type KZ, he can understand, okay, this is this document is posted because of manual issue of check. Similarly, for the clearing document type ZV. See, Chandrasekhar, clearing document type means here payment document only. Through which document the invoice document is cleared. That is called clearing document. Generally, clearing document itself is the payment document. Chandrasekhar. Now, here, if you want to use the document type ZP and ZV, again, we have to define the number ranges for ZP and ZV in the transaction code OBA 7. ZP.
Hello.
One second. See, for the ZP, you have to define the number ranges here. Similarly, for ZV also, you have to define the number ranges here. Without number ranges, we cannot enter the ZP and ZV here. System gives the error message. That's how we can use these two fields in the real time. But in our class, instead of defining the number ranges again, just like that I'm giving KZ and KZ. Clear for everybody? Yes, Srinivas.
Just now the requirement is clear, and I did not. I did not understand the answer properly. The requirement is clear.
Okay. Requirement is clear, right? Now, here,
Yes.
if you enter the document type ZP, the system will post the payment document with ZP type. So when the user notices the document type ZP, he can understand that, okay, this document is posted because of the payment issued through automatic payment program. If the document type is KZ, user can understand, okay, this is the payment document posted through manual issue of check. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now, payment medium program is equal to RFF OUS underscore C. Program. What is the payment medium here? Check. So the program for the check is RFF OUS underscore C. This is the program for format of the check. Right? This program was already defined in the system. Even in the real time also, we have to use this program only. Click on save. See, it is giving one error message. An entry already exists with the same key because it was already there, no? If it is not there, I told you how to define. US. Let us check the details. Payment method, check. Okay, fine. Now, double click on currencies allowed folder. Click on new entries. Currency is equal to USD. Currency is equal to USD. Here, look at the screen. In this list, you enter those currencies that are permitted for this payment method. Leaving this table empty will mean that all currencies are permitted. Means, if you have entered USD, the system will print the check for the invoices which are posted in US dollars. You can restrict the payment program to particular currencies by entering the currencies there. Now, write one point, very, very important point. Here, you write one point here. Using the automatic payment program, we cannot make part payments. Using the automatic payment program, we cannot make part payments. To make the part payments, we can issue the checks. Manually only. Clear? So system always prints the checks for the full amount of the invoice. You cannot print the checks for the part amount. Very, very important. And also interview question. Then, see the step number 2. Set up payment method per company code for payment transactions. So after setting up the payment methods at the country level, now you have to set up the payment method at the company code level. Simply saying we have to assign the payment method to the company code, nothing else. Path is same as above.
Hello,
Yeah, Gadilingam.
sir. Sir, I didn't understand about that currency allowed. Can you explain one more time, sir?
Yeah. See, here we have entered currency USD, right? So the system will print the check for those invoices which are posted in US dollar. Suppose you have posted one invoice in INRs, it will not print the check even though it is due. This is what it is written by the system here. In this list, you enter those currencies that are permitted for this payment method. Leaving this table empty will mean that all currencies are permitted. So here we have entered only USD, so the system will print the check only for the USD invoices. Clear, Gadi?
Okay, sir. Got it, sir.
That's why we don't, for the foreign invoices, it will not print. That's why we don't enter any currencies there. We don't enter any currencies there in the real time. See the step, set up payment method per company code for payment transactions. Path is same as above. Set up payment methods per company code for payment transactions. First, let us do all the settings, then I will explain. Click on new entries. Paying company code is equal to 3366. Payment method C. Minimum amount 100. Maximum amount all nines according to your material. Under grouping of items, select a single payment per market item. In your material, I think the word single is missing, right? Please add single payment for market item. Select payment per due day. Click on form data. Form for the payment medium F110 underscore prenum underscore CHCK. I will explain you all these settings, don't worry. Then draw on the form LG Infotech INC. LG Infotech INC. Click on save. Now what is this? Look at the screen, please. I'm going to explain every field now. Here, for the payment method C, check. For the company code 3366, minimum amount 100, maximum amount all nines. So in this case, minimum amount 100 means the system will print the check for those invoices whose amount is equal to $100 or above $100. That is the impact of minimum amount. For example, in the real time, we use these two fields like this. For example, one second. Yes, I'm back. Yes, Srinivas. See, you can make the payments either to bank transfer or a payment method. See, anything, any payment method we can use. But for making the bank transfers, we need to have some interfaces. So those interfaces are not available in the training class. That's why I'm showing you how to configure for the check payment method. So if you want to set up the bank payment method, again you have to set it first at the country level. That I will discuss you clearly at the end of the topic. Once this topic is over, I will clearly again explain. Okay. Now, first let us try to understand this. What is this minimum amount and maximum amount with reference to payment method C for the company code 3366. Here in the real time, for example, I have entered minimum amount 1000, maximum amount 1 lakh. In that case, minimum amount is 1000, right? Then the system will print the check for those invoices whose amount is equal to $1,000 or more than $1,000. If there is an invoice for $900 for a vendor, it will not print the check even though it is due. Then what happens? You don't want to make the payment for the invoice of $900? No, we have to make the payment. But here, the management requirement is for all the invoices whose amounts are less than $1,000, they want to issue the checks manually. Following. If that is the requirement, see, the requirement of the management is like this. For all the invoices whose amount is less than $1,000, they want to issue the checks manually. That's why we enter the minimum amount 1000. That's it. Clear? Now, maximum amount I have entered 1 lakh. The system will print the check only for those invoices whose amounts are up to per invoice. This is, please remember, per invoice. See, the system will print the check for those invoices whose amount is equal to $1 lakh. If the amount of the invoice is more than $1 lakh, it will not print the check. Then you don't want to make the payment again? No, that is not the case. If the amount of invoice is more than 1 lakh, I want to make the payment through bank transfer, not through check. Are you getting my point? If the amount of the invoice is more than 1 lakh, the management wants to use another payment method. For example, bank transfer. Why so? I will tell you one business scenario. Our house bank is HSBC. We are in Washington. Your vendor is there in New York and his house bank is Citibank. So he is having one invoice whose amount is $1,50,000. So today we have issued the check to vendor through automatic payment program for $1,50,000. On which house bank? HSBC Washington. And the vendor has to get this check collected through his house bank, Citibank in New York. It takes 1 week. So for 1 week, vendor has to lose interest. So he is not accepting. I want the bank transfer. That's why generally what happens is for bigger amounts, they want to do bank transfer. If that is the case, you can enter maximum amount 1 lakh here. That's how we can use these two fields in the real time. Clear? So in our class, just like that, I have entered minimum 100, maximum all nines. Now, under grouping of items, select single payment for market item. Go back to notes, please. Put heading, set up payment method set up payment method. Sorry, first you have to put the heading automatic payment program. First main heading is automatic payment program. Under that, set up a payment method per company code. Set up payment method per company code for payment transactions. Under that, again subheading, single payment for market item. Single payment per market item. By selecting this indicator, the system will print a separate check for each due invoice, for each due line item, within brackets, due invoice of the vendor provided the payment method has been entered, at the time of posting the invoice, in F-43. That is, we can make the payments. Invoice wise. Means what? See, for example, we have one vendor X. So today we are executing the payment program. So for this X vendor, there are 3 invoices. Invoice number, amount. So invoice number 110, amount is 10,000. For the same vendor, another invoice is also there. Invoice number 120, amount is 20,000. Invoice number 123, amount is 30,000. So for X vendor, there are 3 invoices, right? So if you select this checkbox, that is single payment per market item here, and at the time of posting the invoice in F-43, there is one checkbox, payment method. So I will show you that field. If you enter the payment method at the time of posting this invoice in F-43, the system will print a separate check for each invoice. Means in this case, the system will print one check for 10,000, one check for 20,000, one check for 30,000. So it will print 3 checks. Suppose if you don't select this suppose if you don't select this checkbox, single payment for market item, it will print only one check for a total amount of 60,000. So if you want to print the checks invoice wise, you select this indicator here, and also the user has to enter the payment method C at the time of posting these invoices. Clear? Write down this, I will tell you the notes. Example.
Hello?
Yes, Srinivas.
Hello?
Yes, Srinivas.
Sir, come again once again.
Huh?
Sir, come again, sir. Can you explain me again, sir?
Yeah. See, for example, for the X vendor, we have the 3 invoices due today. Okay. Now, we have selected single payment per market item here. Then, at the time of posting the invoice, the user has to enter payment method C in F-43. Then, the system will print a separate check for each invoice. In this case, 3 checks for 3 invoices. That is one check for 10,000, one check for 20,000, one check for 30,000. Suppose if you don't select this indicator, then the system will print only one check for a total amount of 60,000. 10,000 plus 20,000 plus 30,000. If you select invoice, if you select this checkbox, 3 checks. If you don't select this invoice, one check for total amount.
Yes.
Write down this, I will tell you the notes. In the above case, another 5 minutes only today. In the above case, if this indicator is selected, in the above case, if this indicator is selected, the system will print 3 checks. The system will print 3 checks for 3 invoices for X vendor. That is one check for 10,000, one check for 20,000, one check for 30,000. Otherwise, it will print only one check for a total amount of 30,000. For a total amount of 30,000. Sorry, 60,000. Otherwise, it will print only one check for a total amount of 60,000 within brackets 10,000 plus 20,000 plus 30,000. Clear? Then here we have selected payment per due day. Write down please. Put heading payment per due day. Payment per due day. By selecting this indicator, By selecting this indicator, the system groups the invoices. The system groups the invoices as per the due dates and prints the checks accordingly. That is, we can make the payments. That is, we can make the payments invoice wise. I'm sorry. That is, we can make the payments due date wise. Due date wise means what? Here, generally, this payment program is executed daily in any client company. But sometimes, some clients, they want to execute the payment program periodically. For example, on every Saturday, let us assume we are working 6 days a week. So on every Saturday, they execute the payment program. So the last Saturday is 25th. So previous date of execution of APP means automatic payment program. 25/11/2017. Then today we are executing. Current date of execution of APP. 2/12/2017. Right? Now, between these two dates, for X vendor, there are different invoices due like this. Invoice number, due date, amount. Invoice number 125, due date is 30th/11/2017, amount is 40,000. Invoice number 126, which is also due on 30th/11/2017, amount is 50,000. Invoice number 130, which is due on 1/12/2017, amount is 70,000. Invoice number 131, which is also due on 1/12/2017, amount is 50,000. Invoice number 137, due today, 2/12/2017, amount is 80,000. This is the situation. For X vendor, between the previous date of executing automatic payment program and current date, these are the 5 invoices that have become due. On 30th/11, 2 invoices are due. On 1st December, 2 invoices are due. On 2nd December, 1 invoice is due. So if you select payment per due date, the system will group the invoices as per the due dates and prints the checks accordingly. In this case, the system will print one check for these 2 invoices. That is, for 90,000, it will print one check. And on 1st December, 2 invoices are there, right? Then the system will print one more check for 1,20,000. Right? Then it will print one more check for this 80,000. So totally 3 checks are printed. Simple. Here Logic is very simple. If you want to make the payment invoice wise, select one, single payment per market item. If you want to make the payment based on the due dates, in that case, select two. I mean, payment per due date. But if both are selected, system will take the first one as valid. That is the impact of selecting payment per due day. Write down this, I will tell you the notes. If anybody is interested, write down this, I will tell you the notes. Write down. In the above example, the system will print three checks for X vendor. That is one check for 90,000, within brackets 40,000 plus 50,000, one check for 1,20,000, within brackets 70,000 plus 50,000, one check for 80,000. One check for 80,000. Now, sorry. Here we have given dryer on the form LG Infotech Incorporation. Form means here check. So the system will print the check and the authorized signatory has to put the signature on that. Below his signature, you have to have your name of the company, correct? LG Infotech Incorporation. So you enter LG Infotech Incorporation here. But nowadays, the banks are giving your checks with your names pre-printed on them. If that is the case, you need not enter anything here. So these are the things what we do in the second step. And here, form for the payment medium. What is the payment medium here? Check. So this is the format of the check. So this format of the check is F110 underscore prenum underscore CHCK, which was already defined in the system. The previous one is RFFOS underscore C is, that is the program for printing the check. And this is the format for the check. Click on save. So remaining things we will see tomorrow. Tomorrow also we have the class, right? And tomorrow also I will take 2 hours so that I can make over the number of hours we have missed, right? I just want to see that the course is completed by 31st, the course is completed by Pongal festival. Okay, that's why I will take, whenever possible, I will take extra hours. Akila, you have any questions? Gadi?
So check format in the sense already it is pre-printed, right? The check also is ready one.
Yeah.
Why this F110 premium
No. See here.
underscore check?
No. This format was already defined in the system. That format we are using. But in the real time, right? For example, you are using Indian bank check, right? then you have to
Yes.
create the own format, because
According to that check.
the format of the check may be different. So that format has to be configured by the ABAP consultant in the real time.
Okay. We have to give a request.
Exactly. Khalid, you have any questions? Okay. Chandrasekhar, okay. Madhusudan, I think you came late. Purushottam, any questions? Okay. Roni, okay. Srinivas,
Sir, hello.
yeah, Srinivas.
Hello.
Yeah, Srinivas.
Yes, sir. I have a question, sir. Can you give some explanation on the first and second question, sir?
Regarding what?
Uh, I said mail to you, now, sir.
I have
You
given
have
you, I have
answered me.
replied you. I replied you.
Yes, sir. I saw, but can you give an example for first question, sir?
See, what you asked is you have created 10 company codes. Can we generate the reports for 10 company codes? Then I said yes. Then what is the example for that?
Uh,
I did not understand.
So 10 company codes are there now, sir. In
Huh?
the 10 company, for 9 company codes, uh, we have used operational chart of accounts, and
Okay.
for one company, we have used country specific chart of accounts.
Okay.
So can we generate reports for 10 company codes?
Yes, we can generate the trial balance for all the 10 company codes. We can generate P&L statement for all the 10 company codes. We have not yet covered the reporting part, right? Reporting part will be coming after asset accounting. At that time, I will show you how to generate the trial balance for all the 10 company codes and
Okay.
also other reports for all the 10 company codes. Hmm?
So, alternative GL accounts means, sir?
Huh?
Alternative GL accounts means what, sir?
See, one second, let me go to that field there. See, here he is asking about this account, this field. This is the field, alternate account number. Here, this field can be used for different purposes. You have the legacy system. Legacy system means the previous accounting system. So previously you are using Oracle ERP, right? Now we have started using SAP. So in SAP, you have
Okay.
created the advanced vendors account as 2,150,000. Okay, in SAP. Now, in the Oracle system accounting also, in the Oracle system of accounting also, we had the accounts, no, GL accounts, no. There also we have to have the advances to vendors account, no, right? So in the previous accounting system, I mean in the previous ERP system, which is called legacy system, advances to vendors account is 1,200,000. In that case, you can enter 1,200,000 here. So the alternate account number represents the GL account number in the legacy system. Getting the point or not?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Yeah. Then
Thank
regarding
you, sir.
carry forwarding of balances, we have not yet covered it.
Yes, sir.
In order to carry forward the GL account balances, we use the transaction code F.16. That I will show you. I have not yet covered because once FI is over, then only we can carry forward the balances. At that time, I will show you.
Thank you, sir.
No, there is no any separate configuration for the alternate account number. You just to take the account number from the previous legacy system, that number is entered here, nothing else. Chandrasekhar. Okay then. See you tomorrow same time. Please remember tomorrow also will take 2 hours. And don't miss the class tomorrow because tomorrow is the automatic payment program is the very, very important class.
Sir, same timings, sir.
Yeah, same time. Same time. Okay then. See you tomorrow same time. Good night and good day.